Hey, it's Doris here with an update. Hey, first of all, I really want to thank you for the incredible support I've received so far. I mean, I'm honestly I'm so humbled by how much of an impact I feel like I've already made and how I draw on a community here of like-minded people that makes me so incredibly happy. So thank you for joining this community here, and thank you for sticking around despite my terrible audio in the last video. I'm really hoping that this is going to work out so much better. I don't know yet, but we'll see. I'm in a different location today, as you can tell. I'm in Mission Bay. I'm right on the bay, not far from the 5 freeway, and I found a little empty picnic table and I'm just hanging out here. And I have some people staring at me from the next table over, but I'm just gonna try and ignore them as much as I can. But I really wanted to talk to you about my biggest reasons why I'm making this channel. I've been thinking so much about this, and I have 3 main reasons really that are super near and dear to my heart, and that has been my urge to film and create something that is helpful to other people. And so really I would say my number 1 reason as to why I wanted to do this is because I felt like I wanted a community. I felt really lonely in a way. I've been feeling very isolated in a way, socially isolated, but I can't really blame anybody for it. It was really my own doing. I've been sacrificing myself so much for my family and kids and my husband's business, and I've always just been like putting everybody else first. And I realized once the kids were getting older and they started going to high school, I wouldn't really see them. Once they started driving themselves to school, I wouldn't see the parents anymore. There wasn't really a school community anymore per se. And a lot of those moms and dads I became friends with. They were the parents of my kids' friends. And so that was always like, I felt like I had a community there. But once we moved to San Diego and I started over again, I felt like I didn't have that community anymore. And yes, I was still in graduate school at the time. I did have my graduate school community, but I mean, I didn't take any more classes. I was in the dissertation stage at that point. I was prepping for my doctoral exams, and I won't get into any details there. There's more people looking at me. Turning heads. Anyway, it's pretty funny. There's another one. Yeah, I'm getting used to it, guys. I'm amused by it, as you can tell. So anyway, getting back to the community or lack of community, I really felt like I needed to build a new social circle. I didn't really have much of a social circle anymore, and I just really felt like I needed to start over in a way. And well, then the pandemic hit, and it was even more isolating, and that's when I was busy, working on my research study and doing my lit review and all of that. So it was all good, but I was missing the social, the common denominator among other parents that were going through similar things, approaching midlife in their 40s. And then once I hit 50, I felt like that's when I really woke up. And there were a few low points in my life that really woke me up, and I will get into that on another video. But really, the number 1 reason why I want to do this channel is I want to find a community, and I feel like my community is already finding me, and I want to thank you all so much for joining me in this journey and being here to support me. And I'll do everything in my power to support your channel and watch your growth and cheer you on along the way, because it does take a community. It's funny, I would have never guessed that YouTube was going to be such a supportive environment. I had no idea, because I was on social media before. I was doing, I think I mentioned my page, the Sounds and Sunsets Instagram page that I have. I never really showed my face there because I wanted to keep it kind of private, and I would really just wanted to focus on the sunsets and the scenery and all that. But I didn't expect this to happen on YouTube. Like, I'm really humbled by how much support there is out there and how much of a community people are willing to create, and that's just amazing, really. I'm so thrilled. You have no idea how happy this makes me. It really makes my day. Every comment is like a big thrill, and I'm overjoyed by it. I really am. And seeing people from Europe also chime in, and people from all parts of the world and all over the US and Canada. It's just amazing to see that kind of a community come together. So that is really a huge deal to me, and I am so thrilled to be creating something and growing a community of like-minded people that we can share, and where we're safe to talk, even publicly, to talk about some of our issues that we're facing in midlife. And I'm certainly facing a lot, and I'm certain that everybody else is too. And so who are you going to vent to or talk to about these things, right? Especially now that I'm separated from my husband, I feel like I'm really like starting over, and it's that much more important to me to have this kind of a support, and I'm really I'm so excited about it. So thank you again for being here. This is really cool. The second thing for me is that the second biggest thing that I can think of that really makes this channel so worthwhile to me, as tiny as it is at the moment, is that I get to create my own life again. Like I get to be who I really want to be deep down in my core. And it's that person that I've kind of lost touch with over the decades. I've been raising 4 kids for the last quarter century, and I've been putting their needs first all the time, and really have forgotten about my own creativity. I was always there, support. Let's run to Michael's. Let's do this. Let's, I have a project tomorrow. Mom, can you take me to this person's house and that person's house? And driving back and forth. Uber is like my part-time job, except I don't get paid. And so much has just been, have I been doing for other people, and now I feel like it's finally my time again. I feel like I can create what I want to get out of life now. And it goes far beyond YouTube. It's not just a creative endeavor where I can actually like express myself in a way that I wasn't able to, or didn't have the courage to do, really. It's not like I wasn't able to, I just didn't have the guts to do it. But now I feel so empowered by every one of your comments as well, to really give of myself what I feel like I can give. And it's well received, and it resonates with others. And I mean, that brings me so much joy. And to be creative and be in my favorite places, like a beach like this is just awesome. I just love spending this time with you here and sharing about my life. And I really hope that you're going to be telling me about yours as well. And it's nice because the other thing that I've noticed is when I follow people back, I get to see who you are. When you're subscribing to my channel, I'll look at your channel also, and I subscribe and I see what you're doing, and I get to actually know you a little bit, and I feel like I get a feel for who you are. And this makes it so cool, because now I feel, okay, I'm in a public place right now. People are wandering by, jogging by, looking at me, and then just pretending they didn't see me. And but I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking to you on the camera, and I feel like I already know some of you, most of you actually. So it's just a great feeling to know that I'm not just talking to a random public void out there. I'm talking to people that are going through similar things like me. And so this is just so comforting too, and I just want to share that. I think that creative thing is it's an amazing experience so far. It's been wonderful, really, and you guys are the one that make it wonderful for me. You are making it amazing for me. So I thank you so much for that. And the third big reason, the sun is hiding now behind the clouds, unfortunately. There's quite a bit of a marine layer coming in, but it's weird. This September we have a lot of marine layer. That's kind of unusual, but anyway, it is what it is. So the third big thing that I want to talk about is that I really want to leave a legacy. I want to leave a legacy behind. I want to leave something behind that my kids get to watch if I'm not around anymore, when they're in their midlife. I lost my father when I was only 21, and I wish that I could still pick his brain right now and find out about his challenges, and for him to open up to me more when I have the maturity. I've had the maturity for a while, obviously, but when I was 21, I certainly cared mostly about myself, and I wish I could have learned more about his past. He grew up in Austria, and he was diagnosed with cancer, stage 4, very progressed already, when I was only 19, and it was really hard to see my dad go so quickly. And so for me, leaving a legacy behind for my own kids when they're reaching midlife, or my grandkids and great-grandkids, I don't know if I'm going to ever get to meet them. I've had my kids fairly late, like in my late 20s and into my mid to late 30s. And so I don't know what the future has in store for me. But I feel like that way they will actually get to see who I was as a person, and maybe they find themselves a little bit in me as well. My grandkids, my great-grandkids. This is here to stay, I hope. And to be able to share that with my family and with my descendants is just a really cool thing. Like, they get to actually meet me and know about me on a very personal, vulnerable level, and I love that. I really love the fact that I'm able to leave this for my kids, and my kids to share it with my grandkids one day. Maybe my grandkids share with their great-grandkids. So that is such a big deal to me, because yeah, I've experienced sudden loss, or a relatively sudden loss in my life too. And my mom passed away 6 years ago, and I sure would have hoped to have a little bit more time with her. But yeah, it's just one of those things that I really wish I had more of my own parents. I wish that my mom had recorded things. She was really severely disabled, but so she wouldn't have been able to do this at all. But regardless, it's just one of those things that I really wish I had more footage of my own ancestors. You know, I had more pictures. We lost a bunch of our family photos in a major flood in the basement. My mom had all the photos in a big box, and it was a big retirement community she lived in, and the whole entire basement got flooded up to literally the ceiling. And so everything got destroyed, and I'm so bummed that we didn't digitize these records. So yeah, that's the third and really strong why I have for this channel, and I'm sure this resonates. I actually just heard about this from another creator that lives in Japan right now. I have to look up your handle again, but I'll put it in the description as a caption. Yeah, you were actually mentioning the legacy, and I had already talked to my son about this, my son who's 18. I said, I want to leave something for your kids if you ever have kids. I want for them to see what my life was about, what my growing up was, what my story was about, that you probably don't even know. And it's funny because we talk about things and he's like, oh, I had no idea you did that. And things that I've taken for granted that I thought they know, but I realized I haven't shared a lot of them with my own kids even. So this is cool. I really think this is such a neat way to share what is on our mind, what preoccupies us on a daily, that we often just brush aside, that we don't even take the time to really process and analyze and reflect on. So that is another really big why for me, is to leave something behind that hopefully leaves a lasting impact. And if this video touches one person and gets them to maybe work on something like that, even if you keep your videos private, you know, do that. Or if you don't have the courage to put them out there just yet, just put them in private, but record them. Recording is the hardest part. Getting yourself out there to actually be in public, or even at home, and to actually turn that camera on and start talking to a camera, that is the hardest thing. But like I said before, I love having that community already. I'm thinking of real specific individuals right now that are encouraging me to do this, and you guys are my tribe. Sorry, I have a call coming in, spam call. Yeah, you guys are really my new tribe, and I'm just so grateful. So thank you again for listening, and yeah, I hope you're going to share some of your whys with me as well. And I know that I've already come across some of your whys on your channels, but I'm excited to get to know you more as well. And I'm so thrilled that you're here with me. So thank you again. Have a great night. I'll talk to you soon.